I think I'm live. It looks like I'm live. I would say so. Okay. Alrighty. Well, I am going to get started then. Hello everyone, my name is Brett, and sometimes I wear a beret, and I have not done a live stream in a long time. But yeah, we're gonna try another one today. I have never promised quality on my videos, and my live streams should be taken with even less expectations. So yeah, um, the goal of this is just to chat with people. I'm not working on anything in front of me here. I have some gameplay footage from my game this past Saturday, and we can chat about things upcoming like End War, or other just games in general, or anything you folks would like to chat about. I've missed everyone's hello. I'm trying to read comments on my phone, but I should have probably started with that. Man, it's going to be harder to disable weird comments here, huh? Okay, guess not. Give me 1 second. Yes, it's about 5:20 here on the West Coast, so I'm sorry if this is an inconvenient time for some of you other folks. But yeah, just got home and I thought, you know what? Let's give it a shot again. Good afternoon, good morning, and good mornings. All right, how you all doing? Lightning Eagle, hello. Greetings, Mr. Beret. I have a question. Are smoke grenades good in a war? No, we're starting off strong, huh? Okay. Are smoke grenades good in a Nerf war? Yes, I would highly recommend using a smoke grenade in a Nerf war. It is the best way to ensure that your enemies are destroyed quickly and thoroughly. Yes, you can yeet those smoke grenades through your window of choice, or just yeet them at someone. It doesn't matter, right? Ugh. You know what's funny is that if you guys don't understand that reference, uh, the most recent WikiHow episode I did. So I know there are people who use smoke grenades in Nerf games, unironically, like you actually use them to clear an area. I've seen footage from the UK where they play with those, and I'm not knocking their use of them because that's pretty cool, but they have the appropriate field for them, and it looks like a proper use of the field, and everyone understands their use and what they should or should not be used for. There's assumed liability with that too. But in general, you can't recommend using a smoke grenade at a Nerf game when people don't think of Nerf games in that same way. So I can't recommend using those when like we mostly play at a public park. That's not going to work. So I understand. Yeah, yeah, Lightning Eagle, exactly. Foam flinging skirmish. I understand when they use them. They look cool. I'd love to be a part of that one day. But in general, don't use smoke grenades unless you're awesome and you live in the UK. Hey Beret, what are your thoughts on the Nerf Spectre? I like bouncy castles. Like the original 5-shot revolver style blaster that came out in N Strike Yellow and Blue. It's okay. It's not as good as the Strong Arm, but not as classic as the Maverick, but it came with a neat silencer barrel and a flimsy-ish stock. It's okay. It's nice and slim though. I like how thin it is. I think I got rid of mine a long time ago though. I might still have one. I forget. Are nunchucks good in a Nerf war? Bob the Cow, yes. What is your opinion on the new Rival Jupiter sniper, Josh Jackson? I don't know. It's okay because I've gotten to hold it. I've not gotten to shoot any rival rounds off of it though. I'll say the operation of it is pretty smooth and reliable enough. I should have taken it from Jared's Epic Nerf battle. That was my faux pas. I think it's fine. I thought it was going to be 70 United States dollars when it comes out, but apparently it's only going to be 50. So maybe that's not as bad. It could be worth looking into, but I'm still not like super invested in it and therefore need to have one. Meh, I can see the appeal of them, but I have anything that, takes an internal rival magazine like that might work just as well, but we'll see performance upgrades as more people get their hands on them. Uh-oh. TK1138. Do you believe two humans combined into one form are superior to one normal human? TK, I have no idea what you're referring to, but let's test that at End War and see. I'll get back to you on that. No dough, no dough Choco. What's your favorite blaster? Spring and flywheel. These are tough questions people ask. I like my Sledgefire. I've decided that Sledgefire is a very fun blaster for me just because of how unique it is. It's something that's very fun to play with, and I can use it defensively, offensively, practically, unpractically, depending on the darts that I load, and I have enough shells to run it for a reasonable amount of time. Maybe not for like an HVZ, because I don't want to lose those. But it's fun, and it's just very different than a lot of the other blasters that I have used in the past. Flywheel wise, I don't know, like maybe my FDL, maybe my Power Strike 48, which I've never like used on camera apparently. We'll get there. Well, let's go with the Power Strike 48. That's pretty unique. Oh man, I'm really behind too. Aaron, how are you, Brett? Do you think Oregon is awesome? Yes, I think Oregon is awesome. I like this state. Lord Angelus, sup from the UK. It's bloody cold here at the moment. Also, you sound a little off. Yes, I feel fine. It's always the different mics. Um, no, maybe my voice does sound a little different. I'm going through puberty, right? What can you shove a Tech 6 spring in, Captain Jackrabbit? A few things, I believe. I can't think of them all off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure you can fit a Tech 6 spring in many of things. Are deploys good in a Nerf war? Outlaw 21. Yes. Brett, you just posted cringe. You're going to lose subscriber. Spirit of Machine. Great. Well, you don't have to be a subscriber. If you think what I do is cringy, then toodles. I don't need that here. 3 raccoons in a trench coat is clearly superior to 2 humans. Correct, Buff Daddy, but we'll find out. I've waited to see 3 raccoons or 2 raccoons in a trench coat. To pair with your Lego Nerf blaster, you should make a Lego sword. Alexander Priftis. Well, that's not mine technically. It's Luchathor's, but I can relay that information to him. How does that sound? Hey Bray, what are your thoughts on Coop 772? I've watched Coop since he was modding way back in the day, so I'm happy that he still does what he does and likes what he's doing, but brings some pretty decently done review videos because I don't bring high quality review videos, so I appreciate the time and effort he takes on those. You need to yeet a grenade through the small hole that you made in the wall before you made while crouching. Correct. Broken Fan Productions. Very correct. Is Krager the best dog? David. Yes, Krager is best dog. Krager might attack me, but Krager is probably best dog. Captain Fox. Bray, what is the worst blaster that you have ran so far? Oh, how do I how do I even know how to answer that? Probably the NF Strike Mortar. That was terrible. That was really terrible. I wasn't joking. It was awful. What is your oldest Nerf blaster? Josh Jackson. My oldest Nerf blaster. Supermax 2000, I think. Early 90s, is that when that came out? I have to check, but I'm pretty sure that one is up there. Have you ever tried throwing acorns as weapon? Trevor RS05. No, but I do like squirrels. What is the rarest blaster that you have ran in a battle, Captain Fox? The rarest thing I've ever run. Actually, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I would have to look back and think. Maybe the Power Strike 48 again. But that's not something I've run currently. Like people who watch my channel now would not see that at all. You'd have to be following my YouTube channel that's a different YouTube channel that I started back in high school. And that was years ago, many years ago. So you have not seen that before. I'm going to say none of you have seen that before. One day. What if a blaster ran you in a war? Whoa. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. I'd feel used. What is your favorite turtle? Um, the soft shell ones. Nothing against the hard shell ones. FDL update. James Neil May. Do where did I leave off? I think I've used my FDL since, and I enjoy it. I'm sad because I kind of want to get one of the half dart attachments for the front and maybe the semi-auto tail, but I have not done that yet. But I'll be using my FDL again later this month at End War. Do you have any real guns? Nope, I do not. I know some other folks who do, but I personally do not. I do not live in a position where that would make sense for me, in my opinion. Are bananas good in a Nerf war? And then when you get done with them, you just eat them. Do you think cheese balls in a rival blaster would be effective? Nope, nope, nope. Cold Ninja 45. Do not do it. Every time someone does that, even just for a video, it destroys that blaster. You can ask Out of Darts how he's still cleaning that out of his hurricane that he used for it. Hey Beret, what's your favorite AccuStrike weapon? A Falcon Fire, but that doesn't suck. I have never touched a quadrant. The very first one that came out wasn't amazing either. I don't know. I'm not sure. Falcon Fire, sure, it's simple. Doesn't affect anything. Okay. Can Beret take a K-26? No, I cannot take a K-26. Alrighty, I have, feel free to keep asking questions if you have them, and I will continue to fall behind. Here is something, we were talking about, I mentioned before that I had a game on Saturday and I used quite a few different things. Of course, some of that was for I'd run that in a War 14, and some of it was just because I wanted to use it. Now, I've been trying to practice a little bit for End War by using blasters that I will use in End War at games, but I don't play in 250 FPS cap games at our place because our field is a public park, and I feel that it would be a little irresponsible to have that high of a cap when people can walk right through and when the average age has definitely gotten a little bit lower, and it's very widespread, so there are sometimes very, very small children, and I don't want to risk having them walk into that kind of fire, or risk having to make special rules just to deal with, like, oh, for close engagements here, public park, everyone should be able to attend. 150 is easy. 250, not so much. But this last game I brought a few different blasters, and one of the things I used was my Foxfire Talon, which I made a video on not too long ago, although maybe it's been a little bit of time now that I think about it. I never got some gameplay footage with that, though, because by the time I got it, I was between games. So I do actually have footage of that being used. So hopefully... Yes, okay, it's working. Foxfire Talon. I really like this one. And looking through some of the footage, you probably can't see all these darts flying, but they're hitting pretty hard. Now, when I bought it online, Ben said that this blaster would shoot 125, I believe. And I hadn't chronographed it before this happened, but I checked in later, and it was doing high 130s, low 140s. So it's solid. For a 150 FPS game, this was the perfect blaster. And I may actually use this in some of our BTA games down the road, like maybe for King of the Hill, where the cap is 150. This might be something that I want to bring and use, because I really did enjoy it. I had 3 Talon mags on me, and 1 Katana mag, which You'll see later why that was dumb to even consider, but I had it on me just in case. I switched to my spamf, which I did the following round. But yes, the first thing I used was this Foxfire Talon, and yeah, I was really happy with the accuracy. I was using worker darts, running on a 3S lipo. It's pretty darn good. It's a little bit loud, and hopefully it's not blowing your eardrums out. I don't think it is. So yeah, it's a cool blaster. I definitely can recommend the Foxfire system to people who are looking for that kind of maybe loadout, perhaps something that's modular that you could actually like get part of a blaster and then another part of a blaster and exchange the heads, exchange the back ends, exchange the mag well. Because I didn't have any malfunctions with this during our game. I didn't break anything, but if I did, I would be comfortable enough with getting a replacement part. So yeah, I like this. It was fun, and then we had a game during lunch where we actually did try out 250 because most people had cleared out and there were like 5 of us here, but we did it pretty quickly. And I used this again because I didn't have anything else that was higher powered. And I ended up winning, which was not because I had superior firepower. It was just how I ended up playing the game. There was someone using almost like a 270 FPS long shot or something. It was a little bit higher than maybe desired, but I played the game wisely, and then Luke was playing his game wisely as well with limited ammo. It was fun. It was my most applicable practice for Foam Pro Tour. So anyhow, I'm gonna read questions now because I did my talking. Why won't you store darts in your beret? I will not be able to get to them. Also, they will get crushed. TNT, Thomas. Hey Beret, why don't you run your bare hands and just throw darts? Someone threw darts at me this past game, so don't worry. Someone threw out the pocket darts. It has happened. Hey Brett, you should go to Flo's Joe soon. Hours 6 to 5 Monday to Friday, 7 to 2 Saturday, Sunday. Is that a place, Aaron? Is that a Nerf place? I don't know. At Jared's Epic Nerf Battle, I brought a dude perfect bow. So many crouch and headshots was awesome. Oh man, I'm glad I didn't get hit with one of those. Do you know any Nerf wars in the Northeast, Nolan? I don't off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure there's a map that was shown on Reddit that has a bunch of those Nerf games across the US. You might want to take a look at. That could help. Why don't you just store... Oh, I just read that. Hey Bray, I have a question for a safe substitute for a smoke grenade. Could I use mustard gas? Dumb question gets dumb response. My response is silence. What is your favorite book? Random user. I haven't read too many books recently. I have the Zombie Survival Guide sitting not too far from me, and I enjoyed that. It's not like a very educational book. In some ways, it's educational. But I do need to read World War Z. I've had that on my plate for quite a bit of time. When you main a blaster that hits 200, 210, and don't want to change it, but sadly it's out of commission because its bolt sled is broken, why do you do this to me, Bloodshot? Yep, that'll happen. If I gave you more Mavs to use at End War, would you use them? Probably not Lightning Eagle. I'm going with a Maverick just to be simple and not overexert myself. If people want to die trying to protect me or get turned trying to protect me, that's fine. I'm going to use a Maverick. It has enough capacity to deal with a zombie at a time, and we'll go from there. So you're saying you're prepared to rematch Dauntless, Foam Blast. Well, yeah, I mean, that means that you guys have to make it out of the first round, right? We also have to make it out of the first round. How do you like the Foxfire? Oh, sorry if this is old. I like Foxfire. Foxfire, good. Nobody's prepared to rematch Dauntless. Yes, they are. Dauntless didn't win by that much. Dauntless won 1-for-1 with Davis at Ragnarok, so it's all All subject to the game at hand. You never know what could happen. Plus, this is going to be a completely different field. We have no idea what to expect. Um, and I'm thinking mostly we're going to get, you know, slaughtered by the teams who have home field advantage, who have played all the time, right? That would make sense. Or not. We'll see what happens. Because sometimes, you know, the best laid plans fall apart when the other team does something you're not expecting at all. Just comes down to the communication and how many darts you got left. How's the time doing? Did you score the objective? Did you eliminate the other team instead? There's a lot of different variables that are only going to be able to get tested during the day of. So who knows what'll happen. But I'm sure what will be great is looking back on everything, hopefully with footage too, and then we can see what comes next. Um, there's yeah, Canadians are superior. Wait, no, you guys are in my bracket. Eh, that's your name. It's okay. Yeah. Oh, Ton's playing on your team too? Well, that's a problem. That's a problem. If you are unsure what the heck I'm talking about, we're watching gameplay footage from like last Saturday, but we're talking about the Foam Pro Tour at End War. So you know, that's fine. Do you like the Caliburn? Richard's Nerf mod reviews. I do like the Caliburn. It's a reasonable question to ask since I don't use Caliburns very often. I have my rival burn and I have my personal Caliburn, which has Calibure on the side of it. I'll use it. I'll use it again. It'll show up on video, I hope. It will also be an option in a survey soon because I'm hoping that once I finish up this next I'd Run That video, the next survey will be a little bit different, just in that it'll be one question with many different blasters because of the field that I'm expecting us to play at. And then you'll just choose your favorites from each of those and we'll go from there. But it's also going to most likely be a higher FPS cap. So I'm saying like, oh, here's this blaster. This is how hard it shoots. So my Caliburn will be on there because it shoots harder than other things. That's all. I actually don't remember who's on the Canadian team past. Yeah. Buff Daddy, how do you not remember this? That's your team. How are we supposed to exploit your team if you don't know them? Ugh. How long did it take to get to your first 1,000 subs, Junior 7? Like half a year? Well, okay. When did the timeline start for that? See, I've mentioned it here and there, but I started making, you know, like Nerf themed videos since high school with gameplay footage, kind of like this, but this is much better quality and much more interesting, and I'm using a much cooler blaster. And then I didn't for a while, and then I started doing a little bit more in 2016, like early 2016, and then I was seeing folks like Wacom. That's when Captain Xavier got started, and that's when I really started doing more stuff. And like started appearing in Wacom's videos, Captain Xavier's stuff, and it was like the end of that year, so right before 2017, that I hit 1,000 subscribers. But I'd only been really seriously doing stuff since much earlier that year, like February. That is my timeline. Tell Buff Daddy nothing so he can leak nothing. But I want him to leak stuff to us. I want info. We need all the information we can get. All Canadians look the same to Buff Daddy? Wow. Tybeck, that's... How dare you? How dare you throw your own people under the bus? I am on the Florida team. Any other teams represented in this chat? Smash them all. Okay, cool. Which Florida team is that? I do not know the names off the top of my head. Uh, Gotta go. Bye. Bye, random user. Thanks for stopping by. Wow, Michelle, you're really hitting this. Dauntless is gonna win stuff. Do I need to time you out? Are you abusing my chat? How dare you? I'm assuming this is Michelle. Only she would be so hyped. Also, hi, if you just keep saying please sub to me, I will have to stop letting you post. Thank you. Bye. Also, please keep the language appropriate. This is a family channel. Florida Foam Flingers. Okay, well, you're on a Florida team. Which team is that? The Florida Foam Flingers. That makes sense. Thank you. Okay, well now I think you've seen this footage now. It was fun. Um, I like getting to use different blasters. The Foxfire Talon was no exception, and like I said, it was shooting pretty hot for what I usually use, and I was really happy to get to use it for a couple of rounds. Yeah, I think it was probably yeah, it was the hottest thing that I brought that day, firepower wise. Next hottest thing I had was my Spamf Falcon Fire. But I don't have a replacement spring for this yet, so it's just shooting stock. I guess I could put some of that footage up too. I guess I have the technology to do that. Bear with me for a second. Is it this one? By the way, I hope my language is okay in these videos. That's why I usually edit things. Also, spoiler alert, because this is probably going into a video in the future, but if you're watching this stream, you can watch it early. Hooray. Also, it's probably going to stop right now and then speed up. Oh, there we go. Perfect. I love it. High quality. Okay. Is Michelle the LG? Sure, Rainbow. Sure. Yeah, she is one of two folks at Foam Blast who does This Week in Nerf. I'm not sure if that's the best way to describe her, but watch yourself. Okay, Rainbow, you're done. Thanks for stopping by. I like the color of your beret. Why, thank you. It should go well with my outfit for Foam Pro Tour once we get those uniforms in. Oh, by the way, what am I doing here? Because you're watching gameplay footage and I'm talking about it, but I'm not. So yeah, this is my Spamp Falcon Fire kit. It came in a couple weeks ago. It's a super easy installation. I'm sure you've seen videos of it so far. I think it's awesome. I think it's fantastic that I had to spend like 10 minutes installing it. But like I also mentioned, this is a stock spring. It's not that powerful. But it worked pretty well for our games, and I think it was hitting, after this I chronoed it, and it was like, it was 80s, in the 80s, with the right darts, so that's as advertised. So yes, I will probably get an upgraded spring for it, but I am just using it as is for right now. And I didn't get too many tags with it just because, well, sometimes you just don't get all the tags. I mean, look at, this was a game where we did the teams randomly, and our team came out pretty nicely stacked. So I didn't lose a life in the previous game, and I didn't lose a life in this game either. So that's like, usually I'm at least putting myself far enough in where I would get tagged and have to go back and spawn, but that didn't happen. So I didn't get too many tags, but that's okay. Bray, what are your thoughts on the Maverick Rev 6? Noah, I love the Maverick. How could I not love the Maverick? It's my primary for End War. Bray, something weird happened to my AccuTrooper. Whenever it was loaded, I couldn't prime it fully. Do you know what could be wrong? Try opening it, Turkish right? Maybe you'll see what happens. I don't know. Those seem to be finicky given how they are stored. Does Brett wear his beret or does the beret wear Brett? Never heard that one before. Hey Beret, can I tape a piece of tree bark to a Tech 3 to make a bayonet? Captain Jackrabbit. Sure. I'm not sure if I can recommend you using it against people though, but I'm not going to stop you. Beret, how much is a barricade worth? JPZ 30, I don't think it's worth that much just because the barricade seems to be outdated in almost every way unless you have a good use for it. The stockade, on the other hand, if you have it with the stock, that could be worth something. His favorite meme is too spicy for YouTube. Correct. I don't know what my favorite meme is. I'm just gonna jump to the front. Do you like cats? I love cats. Kitties are the best. Except I won't be able to own a cat in the future, most likely. But I do have cats. They're cute. I like kitties. They are soft and fluffy. They make my girlfriend sneeze. We need a Maverick with a hammer shot hammer to prime. That's an interesting idea, Captain Fox. I don't know. Oh man, the first question is it worth it? But obviously if you're going to be doing that, it's just because you can do that. That'd be interesting. I've seen someone make a, what was it? A, not a Jinner, so the newer Han Solo movie, whatever Emilia Clarke's name was in that, her pistol with a double strike hammer in the back to prime it. That was pretty cool, but I think that was a really, really short draw. The Maverick, I'm pretty sure, is longer than that, and I don't know how much draw length the hammer shot would actually give you. So, maybe. Do you like dogs? Yes, I like dogs. I like animals in general. Dogs are adorable. I can probably name more dog breeds, though, than cats. Also, this kid was just walking through our base and tagging people. Gotta pay attention to these things. What a great kid. See, everyone has a way to play. Our plastic knife, or plastic... Whoa, something happened there. Are plastic knives safe for a Nerf war? I wouldn't recommend using a plastic knife, even like a butter knife, for a Nerf war. See, my friend Lance here has a bucket of knives, but those are foam knives wrapped in duct tape. And he is going to, right now, attempt to dump said bucket of knives on an opponent. He is going to fail, but that's just spoiling everything. And Captain Xavier is going to officiate. I want to watch this too. I haven't gotten to watch this again for a while. he gets so close. But then he picks one up and he gets him. So it all works out. Hooray, bucket of knives. Coming to an I'd Run That in a War survey sometime soon. I love that loadout. Thanks for stopping by, Captain Jackrabbit. Yes, the little ones are very sneaky. Yep, yeah, bucket of knives. Ever since I saw that loadout, I knew I wanted to add it. I just wanted to make sure that it would be something that I could have access to. That's the hardest thing. There's many things that I do have, even though I've started weaning down my collection for many appropriate reasons. But the other ones that come to mind, I always have to ask, like, hey, Chalo, do you have this? Can I borrow it for a game? Hey, Lance, do you have this? Can I borrow it for a game? And when I'm asking people if I can borrow stuff for a game, it's always like, well, I don't necessarily need it yet. It's on a survey. I don't know if it's going to be chosen. Sometimes I can predict a little bit, but I try not to make it super clear cut because that's not the point of the surveys. The point is that you never know what could happen. Like this last time, I got a lot of comments saying, wow, there's some good stuff on here. I'm sad that you'll have to use the Atom Blaster. And I'm like, you sure? You sure the Atom Blaster's gonna win? You don't know that. There's some other things on there that you never know what could happen. So that's why I have to be careful with how many things I put on there that just aren't mine, because I don't want to all of a sudden have this like all come from other folks. But there's always more cool things that other people have, so that's why I like seeing what I can do. Why am I watching my own footage? I've seen this before. Okay. Make a loadout of edible spray paint. Yes, this is a thing. Bugsy, I don't like where this is going. I'm already hesitant to use a water blaster at a Nerf game, because it's, not everyone wants to be sprayed. I play Amp Guard and have plenty of foam throwies. Putting them in a bucket and running around with it would be fun. Now, the funny thing about this, too, is that we, before each game, ask the players if they want blaster hits to count or not. And it goes back and forth every time, like almost reliably. So like last game, before this one, blaster hits did not count, which meant whatever you're holding in your hands pretty much, if it gets hit with a dart, it doesn't count. A lot of places just do blaster hits always count because that's easier, obviously. But we don't always make that the same rule. We, again, like to gauge our audience and see what they want to go with. Now, megas usually will count regardless, just like rockets. But this time we did vote to allow blaster hits to count. So, it's just a little bit different. But like I said, it's pretty familiar for other folks. So, with that, I mean, this little blaster, not much protection in general, but makes me feel a little more safe than using something that's massive. And with this rule as well, we have it that rockets destroy what you're using for a given round too, regardless of if it's a shield or not. So technically, if my blaster I'm using right now got hit with a rocket, I'd have to drop it for the rest of the round. And we allow people to go back and get a different blaster too. But it's such a scary concept. If someone was reliably using rockets, you're like, oh no, my loadout. So, yeah. The bucket of knives, therefore, counts as your loadout. So if the bucket got hit with a rocket, you're done with the bucket. Fun stuff. Have you ever asked Welcome S7 to borrow any of his blasters? I haven't specifically. He hasn't been able to attend some of our games recently. I will hopefully reach out to him in the future if he has something specific. But like I said, I don't want to ask someone just like, hey, can I have your prize blaster to maybe use in a game? Because that's kind of like taking advantage of someone. I want to like be able to use something that they're willing to let me use that I'm not going to break and also is functional. I'm not going to just reach around and say, hey, can I use this? Can I use that? Can I use this? If you could take only one blaster to a battle, what would it be? TNT Thomas. Well, we have to specify a little bit about what it would be, but if I'm just saying Borst, it seems like, you know what? The blaster I always seem to bring with me is a Maverick. That's not my answer just because that won't be super effective almost ever. But, if you look at the trees that we have here, the way that we play, the games that we play, something really simple is all that you really need. It doesn't even need to be magazine fed. I mean, Magnum Super Drum is an easy go-to that will keep you high capacity, easy to top off, decent engagement distance. Like, I could probably arc it from this tree line to the next tree line and have a chance of hitting someone. Maybe not always hitting someone, but I know if they were to charge through there, I would have a decent rate of fire and range to stop them. Tie a Nerf dart to a string and run it in a war. Yep. Bucket of plush peeps. Throw the peeps. Yes, Buff Daddy, I know what you want to do. Do your own I'd run that in a war. I know you're like the next best competitor for that, if not the better. Because you do it already. Bray, can your hat take a K-26? That I am not sure of. Shoot, in the old days, Drac would run around with like 7 swords and throw them. The rules eventually changed. Yeah, so we allow the small daggers, like the knives that are in the bucket of knives. those foam ones to be thrown. They're light enough, but we don't want to see the big swords being thrown. We've had problems with it in the past, and it only takes one or two instances to say, you know what, let's not see that again. Even if the people playing are aware of it, look around, like in this game, we've got some smaller folks, and the way that swords go, all you have to do is be aiming at the wrong height, and someone gets hit in the head. Our eye protection is not meant to protect us against a sword slap to the face. So it's just safer to have those as only, keep them close, no throwing them, because once you yeet a sword across a field, uh, everyone can get hurt. It's the same way of like, well, maybe we shouldn't really throw those Nerf grenades at a game. You have to make special rules for that too, if you allow them. And I understand people who don't. You should run a K-26 in a war. Zach, I have thought of that. I need to get one in its package and find an appropriate question to ask people so it isn't chosen just automatically, because that's not fair. My Walmart is selling Thunderhawks for $10. Should I buy some or save money for the Jupiter? That would depend on what you want to use your Thunderhawk for, because I owned a Thunderhawk, for a bit. It's large. It doesn't do too much, but it's amusing in how large and silly it is. The Jupiter may actually have more use, so I might recommend waiting for the Jupiter. Use a deploy or Hornet as your primary. I have a deploy, but I don't have a Hornet on me right now, so that would be in the category of I need to ask someone to borrow their Hornet. Make a costume that looks like a giant Nerf dart and body slam people for. I'd run that in a war. We do have those giant Nerf darts that are like foam with specialized dart heads that they've sold at like FoamCon before. If I got my hands on one of those, I could use that. That would be an appropriate melee weapon. I would allow that. That's like Loretta, the fish that you've seen maybe in some of my videos recently. She's a melee weapon. Yes, she has a name. Run a rifle mag loadout, like just the magazines, and you just try and shoot balls at people. Yeah, that always works well. See ya, Michael. Thanks for coming by. I want to see Beret run around with a deplorable. I could ask Lance about that one. I have definitely supported him with one before. His original deplorable. I don't know if that was in an I'd Run That video though. I would have to check. It's a fun one though, when it is working. How long have I been going for? I don't know. 43 minutes. Okay. I was going to see where this was after about an hour and then go from there. What else we got? What other footage? I think I only had... Let me check. For my previous game, I had that. Yeah, let's go with this one. Okay, here's another video I'm going to be working on soon. Oh man, it pauses right there too. Ugh. Lance is asking me, so how often do you run flywheelers? And I'm like, not that often. Or no, my words are sometimes, which, is appropriate. So this is the Moto Strife from Prickly's Nerf Mods. And he was selling some of his blasters as he was taking a break from the hobby, trying to get rid of some of his works to make space and money for other things that he needed, which is understandable. People do that. And this was one thing that I was very interested in seeing because I watched his progress in building this online, and then I saw it at End War last year, and it's beautiful. I mean, if you can't tell just from the quick little views of it in front of me, it's a Moto Fury, which is the Nerf Nitro Moto Fury that originally shoots cars, and it's integrated with a Strife, which is a Nerf Strife. Strife is obvious. But it's just so well done. It's so pretty. It's not perfect. I'm not going to say that it's like a perfect integration, but there is no perfect integration. It's just a very unique mod. And when he said he was letting it go, I was like, you know what? I think I want that. I think I want to add that one to my collection. I think I could give it a good home. And so I bought it from him. I usually don't buy blaster commissions or, heavily modded stuff from other people. So I thought, you know what, this one means something a little bit more though. So I'm going to spend some money on this. Uh, and it's yeah, I mean it's a strife, with a cool stock that takes a massive battery if you need to put one in there. And it's running on a 3S lipo. It's semi-automatic though, not automatic like when he made his video on it. And when I post my video of this blaster, which I think is not this week but next week, I'll have more details on it and I'll link to his original video. But it still works just fine, as you can see, but it was meant for HVZ, I think, so I'm pretty sure it's shooting under 130 to fit that End War 130 cap. But it works fine for our games. I mean, like I mentioned before, if I had to choose one blaster to bring to, like, Fort Borst Park, I would bring a Magnum Super Drum just because it's got a decent rate of fire, uh, capacity, range. You don't need to be shooting super far at these games because there's so many trees that you can hop between, and that's how I play anyways. And this blaster is hitting those ranges that I need perfectly. It's got pretty good accuracy as well. And here's Ryan, the MVP with I didn't realize it. It's an ion fire. It's a stupid ion fire with a long strike barrel, a sling fire stock, and a scope. Ugh, what a man. Anyhow, my blaster. It's just a really nice build, and I just sold a couple of my other strifes as a result because I don't need them anymore because I have a strife right here, but it's a really cool strife. It's got a mag release on the side too, which is kind of funky, and the rev trigger you can toggle upwards or push it in to start it. So that's also really funky. But I'm not using this competitively. I'm just using this for fun. I would consider most of these games, are fun blasters. So not a concern on my part. But yeah, it's awesome. It's fun to use. Nothing, super special about the internals. There's a voltmeter on the side that you can check. It's just really well done. I think it was a very necessary integration to be made with that Moto Fury, because what are you going to do with a Moto Fury otherwise? Okay, now I'm looking at my questions again. I like the Ion Fire, but why would you use it competitively? Well, like I said, is this competitive? No, but Ryan's having a good time, and that's what matters. Have you tried the Stefan converter for the Strife, and what are your thoughts on HPA? No, I have not used the half-dart converters for a Strife yet. I could do that. Ironically, I've said before, like, I'm not huge on half-darts, and now I just sorted through all my half-darts, and I have a supply of them and more blasters that use half-darts. So, that's happening. um, but my thoughts on HPA, I'm kind of indifferent right now. I just know, like, if it's not allowed, I understand why. I'm personally not looking into making any HPA builds. Oh, I'm sorry. It's been a day, apparently. For some applications, I think it's okay. And it's really cool to see what people have done with HPA, because they've been able to make blasters that you'd never be able to make with flywheels or springers using HPA. So that's cool. Do I think it's going to completely break the game? No, because usually it comes down to how you play and what game is being played. It's just an interesting step in people's development of Nerf technology, so to speak. And it's cool to see that there are more parts for it. I just hope, as always, and as one should, that those who want to dabble in the HPA world do so with respect for what it is and with safety as their forefront, because not everyone can do it if they don't have the knowledge. Whereas, you burn out a flywheel, you don't burn out a flywheel, you burn out a motor, you break a flywheel, oh no. Obviously the lipo is a little scarier to mess with, or an IMR that maybe is overused. Or you break a spring breaks the plunger. Oh no. HPA though, you have something go wrong and it's a problem. So that's what I hope at least people are prepared for. They don't need to be afraid of it. They just need to be prepared to deal with that. Where are you based out of, Brett? I am based out of Oregon, but mostly these games are taking place in Washington, James. Bray, good luck on your next game. Thank you, Justin. Well, next game is End War, so thank you. If you were a dart blaster, what blaster would you be, Bray? That's an interesting question. If I was a dart blaster, what blaster would I be? Like a goofy, but I don't know. What does that mean? If I were a dart blaster? I don't know. When will the next Borst game happen? The next Borst War, I don't know yet because the next game I'm setting up is probably not going to be at Fort Borst. Unless this other one falls through, and then I'll set it up for Fort Borst. Also, it's pronounced HPA. Yes, thank you, Tybeck. I know how to pronounce it. You don't have to mansplain that to me. Greetings, Corporal Beret. Greetings. I'm sorry, I want to say your name, but I'm afraid of saying it wrong. Baron Musli. Musli. I tried. Hello and good evening all. Hello, Rival League Joker. In most dart games / flywheel games, I would run my regulator. I've seen a couple modded ones that are pretty cool. I don't think I would ever mod a regulator with my current setup. I also don't have a regulator anymore. I go through blasters pretty quickly, and that's because I like being able to play with more stuff, and then when I've kind of gotten my enjoyment out of them, I don't feel the need to hold on to them forever, and so then I sell them off to mostly locals or friends for a pretty reasonable price, because I've gotten at least some amount of worth out of that play, and maybe it's one time, maybe it's two, maybe it's five, I don't know. Or if someone else just really wants one, they're going to use it, then I feel like that's more appropriate for them to have. If you had to use if 100 people, if you had to use a blaster in a fight with 1,000 people in a Nerf war, what would you use? I would I would ask Luke if I could borrow a proton pack, and then I would still not be able to effectively keep 1,000 people at bay because that just is never how it works. It's not how proton packs work. But it's the best use of that blaster. 'Cause no one is going to at least... They'll keep charging you. Is this like 1,000 people to one? That sounds fair. Where do I sign up for this? What's your go-to connection for the Nerf community? Nerf Haven? James, I have not been on Nerf Haven in ages. I honestly never even created a Nerf Haven account, but I did check Nerf Haven when I was newer to the nerfing scene, so I do remember seeing some of those older posts, and they weren't just like, oh, I'm looking back at this 5 years later. It was like, no, some of them were still coming out regularly, like new stuff, because, I was in the nerfing hobby when the long shot came out, and so I saw when people were posting about it. I didn't see too much about it, but I saw some things. When the new magazines were brand new, and now of course like we use Nerf magazines in a completely different way, and they have a completely different uh, use than, oh look, it's a 6-dart magazine. It's a clip. Thanks, Hasbro. You'll start a debate that will last forever. Yes, I know it's not a debate. It's just a conflict. I spoke your name right? Hooray! Bray, Wasteland Ranger in the next I'd Run That in a War, maybe? Well, this thing? No. No, why would I do that? Right? It's not like there were 5 worker blasters in that question. Why would the Wasteland Ranger be chosen above the other ones? That would be silly. There's so many good blasters on that. So many good things. So many. So many. Anyhow, Yeah, the next I'd run that in war isn't probably going to go up until like a month from now, just because I like to post the video about a week before my next game, so that post the video and then the next survey is live through that week, and then it closes and I go to the game following that. And our next game isn't set until ideally middle of July. Uh, and I'm trying to, with my schedule, if you haven't noticed, I do one video a week, Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific time. I have a schedule. Hooray. It keeps me sane. And I also have enough to do one video a week, so I'm not overreaching myself. But that's why I don't do like, oh, I have 3 videos ready to go. I'm going to post them all right now, because I don't need to do that. I have some stuff lined up through End War, and then I'm thinking the week after End War, I'll hopefully have an End War recap, and then the week after that, I'll talk about this game. I run that in War 14. What's your favorite mod you've done besides the Sax PZ? Oh, darn it! Thanks, Junior. You took my only out. Um, what have I done? You know, it's weird to see how little modding I've done since really getting into this YouTube stuff. I know some people have it just as part of their YouTube videos, and for me it's just not been the same, but it's not like I'm, regretting it every single day. It's like, no, I enjoy what I get to post, what I get to make. It's just that I found the modding stuff, I needed more time and more space to do certain things, and I'm not looking to kind of just show off things that other people already do better. So if I was going to be showing off mods, I'd want to do some original stuff or just things that tickle my fancy. And I don't, like I said, have the space for it right now. I have a smaller apartment, and with that apartment, I've chosen to have the current loadout that I have. So I don't have the space to store and have a workspace, so to speak. I have a filming position right behind me, but I don't have that room. I have friends with that room, but like I said, I don't invest as much time into that because I don't want to overreach personally. To answer your question, as I'm trying to avoid it, what is my favorite mod besides the Sax BZ that I have personally done? I did do an old long shot Hyperfire integration. What were those called? I don't remember. That was back in the day. I was proud of that. I felt accomplished. I also put an XBZ inside of a Recon and a Baron underslung with that. That could be somewhat effective because the Baron is not underpowered. It's reasonably powerful when you upgrade it. I like that one. Let's go with that. The Recon Baron XBZ. Do you have an opinion on air blasters like the Drain Blaster? I think the Drain Blasters are cool when you make them fire many things and not just one dart. Because it's fine that it shoots one dart, but I don't see why you'd ever use that, so it's more fun to make it shoot like multiple rockets if you didn't have it break on you. Wasteland Ranger for the lols. Yeah, Wasteland Ranger for the pain. Run an exact recreation of that homemade Nerf blaster from that wiki how to build a do-it-yourself Nerf gun. Yeah, I've thought of that one before too. That was a long time ago. Okay, now you've seen this. You've seen this footage now. I'm gonna go back to just me in all of my low quality. Uh, yeah, that video, my most popular video on YouTube, the one that I get plenty of hate from also. Oh, good things. Uh, I will see about that. That could be fun. I wish it would fire at least something. That's the problem. The Wasteland Ranger makes Beret slowly go insane. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I have not fixed my Drain Blaster Lightning Eagle. Is Captain Xavier K-26? Yes. What was the most unfair Nerf war ever? The most unfair? Like that I've been to? I can't really think of one off the top of my head. Maybe, I mean, if we're talking recently, I can tell you that not choosing balanced teams when you have a small group can be pretty unfair. Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? Hey, I've seen this other places. This is not an original question. That said, I feel like a horse-sized duck would be really scary. Therefore, horses that are duck-sized would be better. What one of these would you rather run in a war? Throwing peanuts or cheese? I feel like cheese nuts. Oh, there's my answer. Both. Peanuts, I think, would get further range, maybe? No, they wouldn't. No, because they're lighter. Cheese would be heavier. Ho ho! That would be appropriate with the beret, too. Throwing cheese, I have to go with that. One coat-sized duck. Hey, get those Alice comments out of here. Only she can make the coat duck references. Or not. I don't know. I'm not the boss. I once hit a guy in the neck with my regulator through a fort window. Okay, like using the regulator, not hitting someone with the regulator. We don't do that. Beret's next mod is a fancy tickler. Tybeck, you don't know me. I will lint roll you. When is the next WikiHow video? 2 months from now? Maybe? That's usually the goal. My WikiHows are usually bi-monthly, and I have not filmed anything for the next one, so let's go with that one. Once June is all over and we can all settle down for a bit, then maybe I'll have some time to work on it in July. Do you know what my end war present for you is? Lightning Eagle. No, I don't, but I'm, again, hoping it's not super big because I have to ask Ryan to bring it back if it is, because I don't have space in my suitcase for it. Wee, I don't need things, you know. What's your favorite Busby blaster? My favorite Busby blaster is, I swear I had an answer for this. I love the Barons. They have a really small handle, but I love their performance. Oh, oh, I did have an answer. The Sentinel, obviously. Sentinel is best. What shirt are you wearing? Just some dumb shirt that someone sent me. I think his name's like Ben from Foamcast Radio. Yeah, I think it's that one. Things happen. Shout out to Foamcast Radio for sending me this shirt. Yay! One thing I did right but didn't actually do much for. Ragnar Oktoberfest. Blue team for the win. Talons or katanas? I know you don't use short darts. Well, that's the ironic thing, Ryder. I've started using more short darts, and through the previous pieces of footage I just showed off, yeah, I was using short darts. Talons. I've decided talons are much more effective with most blasters. I like the feel of them. I like that they're cheaper. I like their color options. I think they're just better. My katanas are my katana singular. It just feels I'm afraid to break it, right? And that's not something I should be fearing. Whereas I feel like I can yeet a katana across a field, and I might break it, but I could yeet a talon across a field and it wouldn't break. Thanks for stopping by, Angel the Shotgun. If you get hate comments, that means you're doing something right. Yeah, but doesn't mean I like getting hate comments. Always choose duck-sized horses. People pay so much money for ducks. Yeah, that's true, Tybeck. They sound more adorable. Can you invite Alice to the crew auxiliary? No, people join as they see fit. I'm not going to force anyone to do something they don't want to do. Can I run a yes? I don't know what that means. Make a Nerf gun that shoots berets. No, I've still held off on a question that just is throwing berets like a frisbee. Don't run any blasters at a war. Just tell your opponents jokes and hope they drop their blasters while they're laughing. We could. You should make a group like Captain X's auxiliary. Call it Berets Brutes and have them wear berets to games to represent. Christian, I've thought of making my own group like a Discord or a Facebook group, but I realized that that's not super necessary. I I've seen I get to see now when people make their own individual groups that are just focused around like, oh, this person made their own group, then, you kind of have to deal with a lot of stuff that I don't want to have to worry about. So there's no need to do that. I have plenty of other ways to interact with people without making like my own exclusive group. Phone blast that. Lol, some dumb shirt. They flagged that for some reason as for review. That wasn't even a swear word. The Destiny is the best Busby. Destiny is fun. I don't actually have a Destiny. I've never used one. Why do you like the Sentinel? Because Sentinel is always a good option to use at a Nerf game too. If I had magazines and I had an option to only bring one blaster to a game, I might choose the Sentinel instead of the Magnum Super Drum just because I can also use it defensively, offensively, uh, with good range and really good reliability. And I like it. And that's no modding. And I like not having to mod because I am lazy as heck. Bray, if you could wear any other type of hat, what would you wear? I haven't put it out too much, but maybe one day you'll meet Fred, who sometimes wears a fedora. I'm a Nerfers. Talon's the mag of choice for the discerning beret. Whether, yeah, correct. How to be a Nerf comedian? Those don't exist. You can either do one or the other. We should make a subreddit. But I mean, I could just post on Reddit too. Actually, wait, how does the Reddits work? Because I comment on things and then I can post on like my own under my own username and people have seen that before. But I guess that's not your own subreddit, is it? Or is that a subreddit technically? If you want the kind of high quality stuff that I would post on Reddit, let me open up. I don't go there all the time, but I was lucky enough to go on Reddit today and I saw Valor posted a picture of his my personal heavy Viper, the Anaconda, which is the new Viper, but he made it for full lengths. And so I was quick to comment, my Anaconda won't shoot none unless they're full length, hun. And so if you want the kind of high quality comments that I would bring on Reddit, there is your taste. Sorry, not sorry. Love the wallpaper. How long did it take to put it together? It's actually between one place and the other place. I used to have them all taped together and then I could just paste it as needed. These are now all individually like attached to the wall. It took me a solid afternoon. Thanks for stopping by, JPZ. Beret, will you ever visit Singapore? Tungsten. Maybe. So this next year I would love to travel more across the US first to games, and in a sense I could do like I'd run that on tour. That's what I've been debating calling it. But I would love to play at more groups across the US because I know that's a lot more doable for me. That said, it would also be really cool to visit places across the world. It makes more sense for me time-wise and financial-wise to do it locally, and local being again like US based. Um, I don't have, that much time off, but I am in a convenient position where I do have time to do that kind of stuff. So if the finances work and I can take time off of work, that's something I would like to do. And I was hoping to do more of that this year, but I decided to go to Jared's Epic Nerf Battle, and I, then End War's coming up now, and Ragnarok Oktoberfest is scheduled for October. And between those, I'm like, I don't know how much more I want to try and do. Some people travel a lot more for Nerf and some people don't at all. So I'm trying to find a good balance that works for my schedule, but I would love to travel to more places and play. And also the best thing is that if I were to travel, I wouldn't really feel inclined to bring too much stuff because I'm happy to use literally whatever. If people wanted to lend me a blaster for a game, yes, that's me trying to take advantage of someone who has home court advantage. But you want me to use something and I show up, that's what I would do. And that would probably be something that I would do if I were to travel internationally because I would want to bring as least amount of stuff as possible. I don't like that. Do you like snapback hats? Maybe. Foam blast. Where are the berets though? Don't sell berets. You'll saturate the market. Nom squad. No, oh, no mod squad. That's me. Liking the orange beret. Thank you, pirate. I know this is the newest beret that I have added to my collection, pretty much before End War loadout. I've never gotten my questions answered in a live chat. You the best. You are welcome, and I'm trying. I'm probably gonna miss a lot still. I'm getting my loadout ready for WVZ. How many magazines or rounds/darts should I take? That's a good question. I have not followed all the WVZ rules. I would imagine, though, if you are trying to pack for an HVZ game, it would be ideal to have, if you're using, what are you using? I don't know what size magazines you're using. If you're using half-turn magazines, you might as well stack up as much as possible. Full lengths, if you've got one of those Vism chest rigs like I do as well, it's easy to carry 6 on you, and then 1 in the magazine, and maybe a dump pouch to dump it. So I think 6 is a good number. 5 as well, like 1 in the mag and 4 stored, or friends with other mags too. It all depends on how you're playing, and if you can reload those fast enough. Beret, do you have any advice for anyone new to the games? Justin, I would say, well, that's a very open question. I would say, though, just be open to how other people want to play, and you won't have a bad time as a result. Because if you come in with certain expectations, because nowadays you can find a bunch of different groups online through footage or just through like Facebook groups or Discord groups, and you can see how they're playing, and you can get so ingrained in your mind and say, okay, I see that's how people play. I want to play like that only. And then you realize that what makes a Nerf group so special, so unique, is how they do things differently. So while some people might play, say, a competitive game one way with no scavenging darts ever in this kind of time, others might have scavenging and they might have a different time. It's all stuff that works with the people who want to play and what they decide together and what makes the most sense for your field, and like I said, the most sense for your players. So being open, if you have a younger audience, being okay with, I guess I'll put my prophecy away that shoots 210. That's just the responsible thing to do. And eventually, if you have Nerf games, you'll find those who like to tinker, and there will always be those people who come out and realize like, oh shoot, you can mod stuff. Or like, oh wow, you can make a blaster shoot how hard? Oh, I want to do that. Sign me up, and you'll be creating an interest group for higher FPS games before you know it. That's my advice. I need to see a jolt with a mag adapter. Come to Reno. What's in Reno? What's down there? One day. That's at least a more appropriate one. I could make it down there eventually. Come to Vancouver. I was just there, Tybeck. I was just there and you hid from me. Couldn't find you. Um, yeah, travel while I can. Yeah, it's a convenient time, so I might as well take advantage of it. But I'm trying to, I'm not in a position either. I have a job. I make money. I make some money from YouTube, which is nice too, and I put that right back into all my nerving stuff. So I'm in a position where I have the finances to travel, but I'm trying not to spend it all. I'm trying to save up more for what comes after like 3 years of significant other being in schooling. So that is a responsible choice that I have to go with, which is why I can't justify going to every single game as often as possible just because I literally have the time and perhaps some money sitting by. Adults making adult decisions. This is where I'd put my super chat if I could. Brett, will there be a time when it's and serious and sometimes I wear it before you tip your hat at milady? No super chats here. I don't need to monetize this stream. I mentioned a little bit before. One day you'll meet Fred who wears a fedora, but I haven't bought one yet. Travel sucks, but being different places and hanging out with people is fun. Teleportation one. Yeah, see, and Phone Blast is a great example of some nerfers who get to travel, who have traveled so much. You guys really set the bar like way up here, and I'm like down here looking up like, okay, I'll try. So it'd be cool. And like we were talking about earlier, going to say another country would be awesome. But I am also not someone who travels all the time. I traveled out of the country Memorial Day weekend, and it was my third time out of the country ever. And it's just not something that I do all the time. And I'm sort of interested in traveling around the world, but I'm also at the same time just not. I'm not necessarily like a super big homebody, but I just like feeling comfortable certain places. And when I have like nothing with me and it's a completely different place, I get a little anxious. So I have to be prepared for that, especially when then I'm coming like, oh, people are expecting you, like they want to meet like Brett. That's like just a completely separate thing that I'm not used to either, and I'm unfamiliar with the area, and it's like, oh, okay, I'm unfamiliar with here. I don't know what's going on. Hi. But I'm getting better at it. For WVZ, you will need at least 5 to 6 darts to shoot everyone else at WVZ once. Thanks, Typek. Quality comment. Um, +1, Michael Reeves collab. I know who he is, but I don't follow him too much. But I got that reference. What is your preferred online Nerf/tactical gear store? My preferred store is, I guess I would split it between Out of Darts and Foam Blast because they sell very comparable stuff, but I will have to give it to Out of Darts just because when I order from him, I can pick it up from him, and that's really the main reason why. He's a local guy, and so I I could literally go to his warehouse and take things, but I would never do that because I'm a nice person. That being said, Foam Blast has very similar products, if not the exact same, and amazing shipping and great customer service. I've never had to deal with their customer service since their T-Rex disappeared, but um, they get stuff out quick. It's good. Have nice little notes with their orders too. And Out of Darts sends his stuff pretty quickly as well. His employees are great and great customer service. So I have observed and heard from the man himself. So I would recommend Foam Blast and Out of Darts if you can get things from those stores because you know that you'll actually get your products. And I have ordered from NF Strike and Lightake a couple of times, and sometimes it's been okay, and sometimes it hasn't. So I don't just review their products because I believe in them. I review things when I get them for free, but I have to say, with a major note on the side, like buyer beware. You're ordering from a giant warehouse online, and they, were nice enough to send me this flip up reflex sight as well, which is cool. I wouldn't have bought this myself otherwise, but I'll do something with this, and maybe I'll even give it away because I don't need it. But if they're gonna send it to me, sure. I explained that too, like in my Wasteland Ranger video. I wouldn't want to buy this myself, but hey, if they're offering to send it to me and then I can review it and tell you people not to buy it, sure. They were emailing me for a couple of weeks asking, where's the review? And I'm like, oh, I'll give you a review of your hot new product. You get what you ask for. What were we talking about? Can you run a foam block from the dollar store? Brick. Maybe. Need something to spice up my Nerf wars. Got any ideas? Chili pepper. Thanks for your videos. Thank you, Sparky. I enjoy making them, and I'm glad people enjoy watching them. Jalapeno. Darn you, Tyback! Beret, can I raid your base? And if so, do you have 5,000 grenades? No, I only have 4,000 grenades. What do I look like? Someone who's rich. Breaking news. Local Nerf YouTuber single-handedly destroys the entire city of Reno. I think that would be Foam Blast. Screw that. Spend all money on Nerf. Yeah, I know. I already had the chance to have a conversation with my significant other the other day when she was like, "What do you mean you don't make money and you spend it on Nerf again?" She's like, "I'm joking." I was like, "I thought you were serious." Scored a $10 backpack from the Sporting Goods Depot at Walmart. I already had one to do my mag pack, but it was a bit too snug to hold all I wanted. This has room for a camel bag. Nice. Also, Pirate, I do have this still right here. I'm waiting for an appropriate survey to put it on. I'm also not sure what to appropriately call it. Yeah. How are we doing? How long have we been going? Hour 19. Okay. I think we'll keep going for a bit. If you folks are happy to stay tuned, you're welcome to drop off whenever you want. I'm just chatting. Lazy Monday. Would you rather have to crawl a whole Nerf war or only use one hand? That's a good question. See, these are the questions I look forward to answering. At Borst, I will use one hand, but if it's something like Jared's Epic Nerf Battle with a nice turf field, I will crawl all day. That's a different kind of gameplay. Beret, if you had to have a pistol in a Nerf war, would you choose the Disruptor or the Strong Arm? I would choose the Disruptor, which is actually kind of funny because I used to think the Disruptor was really stupid, but the fact that you can reload it a lot easier than the Strong Arm is a major plus. And I think it has the comparable performance, so if you're really just looking for a reliable pistol that holds 6 darts, I think the Disruptor is a pretty good choice. Beret, will you ever run flex tape in a war? How memey do you want me to get? Have I not done enough? How much do you want me to suffer? Have you ever been to any games in the Midwest? Justin, I've been to Ohio. How's that? For End War last year. That's my closest. Thank you, Sparky. I think we are having a good time. If you made a WikiHow page, how would you make it? The Lava Llama Gaming. I don't know. People have asked me this one before too. I don't know what I'd make one about. I'd have to really think about it. I'd thought of it before, like the question too, but I don't know. You don't make things, you review things. That's always the easier one. But it's also in the same vein of like, if you make something to be funny, is that really going to have the same effect? It's the fact that these things already exist and they're maybe meant to be serious that's kind of funny. It's because it's at someone else's expense. Can you make a propane-powered Nerf blaster? Oy, thumb knuckle. No, don't do that. Or use propane accessories. Bray is still using out of darts. Yes, absolutely. I saw him the other day. I drove him to our game. See, Foam Blast orders from Out of Darts. I'm sure Out of Darts orders from Foam Blast. It's the circle of life. They make proton rounds. Buy the blue ones. They're the best. Hey! Hi, Ryan. How's it going? Spend more money on Nerf. Okay, I'm way behind. I am way behind. You are able to fly, but you can't use any mag-fed blasters, would you? So if I was able to fly like to an event, or you mean literally fly, like above people? Sure. I don't use many mag blasters anyways. It's weird when I have to break out my mag holders. What a weird world I live in. Have you ever gone to Illinois? No, I have not. Will I in the future? Maybe. Hey Brett, love your vids, man. Thank you, the Challenge Boys 12. Which would you run, a Blitzfire or a Strong Arm? Well, I've run both, so yes. How about a Blitzfire? That sounds more fun. You need to commit to making Nerf montage parody. Like Larry Loser, what do you mean? Like gameplay footage that's in montage form? Is that what you mean? Have you been to Seattle? Yes, I have been there quite a few times. You got me back into Nerf, thank you. Well, you are welcome. I am glad that I have inspired people to get back into Nerf. Do you do commissions, Chris? No, I do not do commissions, and I think you should be happy I don't do commissions. I don't know what you would expect from me. I I should pay you if I did a commission. You should make a Discord. Kind of talked about this before too. I don't think I need to make like my own group somewhere. I'm happy being parts of other groups. And if you want to follow me, you can follow me on YouTube. You can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on Facebook. And in a sense, those are my own groups, right? I'm pretty sure 90% of the funny WikiHows are written by EOC Dragon. No, I refuse to believe it. I believe that they are 9-year-olds only. Sorry if you're 9. I don't blame you. I respect you. Beret doesn't need to use blasters. He run and jump like a jackrabbit. He even jumps over darts. At almost point blank range, he's hard to hit. I know I tried hard enough. Yeah, that's true. That did happen recently, Christian. Would you run a saran wrap shield? Ooh. That sounds really stupid. That sounds really great. Oh, I like that idea. So I could make a frame, like a PVC frame, really easily, and then just put like saran wrap, and eventually the darts would stop bouncing off of it and they would just start going through. It's the guaranteed way for rounds to start piercing your shield instead of like a cardboard shield where people would take time, but depending on the cardboard, you probably could get through. I like that one. I may have to save that one for something. Ooh, saran wrap shield. That's good. That's good. Blue proton rounds actually are the best. Thank you, NorCal Nerf Club. I believe so too. Problem is, I used my blue ones, and now I only have like orange and white. How fast can you fire a Nerf blaster shots per minute? Depends on the blaster, Daniel, but pretty fast if I'm committed to it. I've got 2 bags of blue berets. I got a lot of blue berets. Just one, it's not this one. Don't buy the blue ones, buy the orange one. Do you know whose channel you're on right now? Oh shoot, I'm wearing an orange beret too. Okay, yeah, well, fair enough. Do you plan on participating in Afterworlds sometime in the future? We'll see. So far, Afterworlds hasn't worked for my schedule, and also just, um, it's not that I'm not interested. It's just that I'm more interested in the Nerf events, and as I try and organize games and keep the YouTube stuff going, um, in the same vein, I'm trying not to overextend myself. And right now, it feels like for me, doing Afterworlds would just be so different that I would uh, just find myself overwhelmed. So I haven't done it yet for that reason. More Sax Man. It's getting there. I'm sorry. Can't do everything. You know how many video ideas I have that are backlogged? It's a lot. I'm not trying to be like mean or anything. That's just something that's been on the back burner. Do you like Bobololo's Rev Trigger? No, Bobololo's a terrible person. Oh, but his Rev Trigger's fine. Writer. If Bobo's still in the chat, shout out to Bobo for being terrible. Go subscribe to Bobololo. He makes Fortnite videos. Would you rather use a Thunder Blast or Twin Shock? Twin Shock? I haven't gotten to use one of those before, so let's go with that. Where did you obtain the glorious Nerf saxophone? Well, I obtained the saxophone online and in thrift stores, and then the XBZ was online and in retail stores. So I assembled it myself. Alpha Trooper or Delta Trooper? Probably the Alpha Trooper. What's the point of naming it a Trooper if you're not going to keep the front priming and you're just going to make it top? Delta Trooper, why? Change your name. Call yourself Recon, Retaliator, Reconinator. I don't know. Delta Trooper doesn't make sense. Good job finding 17 reactors. Oh yeah, another video idea in the works. Reactor Man. It's as dumb as you think. I'll make a Discord for you. Just say the word. No, like I said, I don't need one. I just started one for my local group, but it's not meant for a fan page or another way to interact with Beret fans, so to speak. It's just something for organizing local stuff. I don't think it would be. I'm involved in other ones, so you can find me there if you need to. There's nothing special that I would talk about anyways, in my opinion. Why don't you do commissions? Because I suck at them. Kyle takes commissions. He can make those dual fishes. Correct. Contact Kyle to make you an awesome blaster, not me. I can promote people who do cool commissions because I believe in them, but I cannot promote myself doing commissions because I don't believe in myself. You can quote me on that. Collab with Coop772? Oh yeah, I'm sure he knows who I am. Though, ironically, He does have an interesting sense of humor that would be unique to work with at some point. But yeah, I'm sure someone with just over 1 million subscribers knows about me. I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit. Where do you buy berets? The internet. How do you make a Nerf wiki? How? You don't. What's your take on PDK Films? He exists. PDK Films. He was some of the original Nerf stuff that I watched. Recently, I saw he had some interesting Instagram posts that I do not condone whatsoever. It is irresponsible to put thumbtacks or razor blades in Nerf darts. Don't do that even if you're making videos showing them being shot at balloons, because you'll at least inspire people to do things differently. I think it's stupid. Don't be stupid. If you claim to have the largest Nerf YouTube channel in the world, then be smart. Sorry, was that mean? Suck it, PDK. You look like a peanut butter cup with a beret. No hate, love your video. Charlie, I love Reese's peanut butter cups, so I like that too. You admit it, you like Captain Xavier, but I wanted to mix play blue and Xavier orange with my nemesis. Well, of course, like you can buy whichever color makes the most sense. I think like the whites make sense too because they're easy to see. I like using white darts because you can actually see them when you shoot, like more often than not. And oftentimes, like the ones that I ordered, the men guns, they're glow in the dark foam, so that's cool. You're never gonna get that with blue or orange. The rival, not the rival, the proton rounds don't glow in the dark though. Remember that. I have not lied to you. They do not glow in the dark. Beret is part of the crew auxiliary, for example, if you want to interact with them. Correct. Yes, you can find me there. A Monday stream? Nobody streams on Monday. Oh, I felt like doing it. I mean, I never really stream, so it seems appropriate. Hello, Mr. Engelstead. What? No Discord? How else are you going to form the Beretzillery? I'd thought of even calling it the Green Berets, but you know, that wouldn't ruffle any feathers. Yeah. Believe in yourself. No. No. Drac knows, I'm sure. Coop knows too. Well, I mean, I've met Drac. I've interacted with Drac. Drac knows who I am. And I've watched Coop since he was younger too. Do you hate the deploy like Coop? No, because I don't need to hate a blaster just for a joke. Captain X has the best sense of humor. You come to my channel and you say that kind of stuff? Okay. Game on. He's a great person. I'm fine. Gotta say, bummed I can't make it to any events that you'll be to meet you. I love your content. Keep up the great work, man. Well, thank you, King of Play. I will always be around, so I'm not that amazing to meet. Most people just say, wow, you're shorter than I thought. And I'm like, I never said I was tall. But, you know. Dab on them haters. No, dab on those idiots. Shh, I said nothing. I'm a nice person. I need reactive balls. Do you know where to get them? No, but someone was kind enough to send me some ballistic balls since they saw that I lost them at Jared's Epic Nerf battle. So I think, I mean, sometimes you can find like Craigslist or OfferUp deals where people are selling their blasters, and you're lucky enough to find ballistic balls with a reactor or um, the revving one whose name eludes me for the moment, Buzzsaw, or I doubt you'd ever find them with the Atom Blaster unless they're new in package. So it's hard. Yeah, I understand it's hard to find them. So I'm very thankful that people reached out and were like, "Do you need more?" And I'm like, "I don't need more." I'm like, "We'll send them to you." What do I think of PewDiePie? He exists. I don't really watch that much of YouTube. I usually just try and keep it to the Nerf stuff and some other funny things, but sure. Too late, the Beret Discord already exists. We are forming a militant organization, and it's totally not a cult. Well, that's a shame. I was hoping it would totally be a cult. White waffle head darts? No, I don't have any of them on me. They're the men gun, so they're kind of waffly style. Hello. Is the AccuTrooper good for the stock in the magazine? I think it is. I think the AccuTrooper is good for the stock and magazine. That said, the magazine isn't anything special, but the stock I think is pretty well received. I don't own one myself, so I can't speak from experience though. How hard do you think it would be to make a bottom primed Delta Trooper? Not too hard because you could just make a pump action grip like for a Retaliator, but that's because it's a Retaliator clone in a sense, right? But it has slam fire. Oh, that's right. I guess there is the crossover between the Alpha Trooper and the Delta Trooper. I still wish it was something with a different name. I'm going to keep asking these. Would you use a Zombie Strike, Flip Fury, or double hammer shots? It would be fun to use double hammer shots just for the fun of it. That's fun, used twice. A Flip Fury would be maybe more effective. Any time you use two of one thing, you are guaranteeing that you are going to be way less efficient at it. That's just how it goes. You aim with one better than the other. That's why I use it as a joke. I mean, I use it on a larger scale, like, oh look, two Mastodons. Oh look, two Centurions. Well, duh. But even like Strifes, you're way more reliable with one and then switching another magazine than two magazines and two Strifes because you can't. It's just not as easy to do. So hammer shots would be fun, dual wielding for sure, but you'd be way less effective. So the flip theory would be good. But it's also not super easy to reload that bottom cylinder and then flip it to the perfect, like, oh, I reloaded 3 shots in my second cylinder of my Flip Fury, and then flip it over. Oh, look, it perfectly lined up. It's like, no, you'll probably get the reverse. You'll probably get like the unloaded 3 are ready to go, and you're like, it's a living. Thanks for responding. You inspired me a lot. You are welcome. Hopefully, I don't inspire you to do dumb things like me. Do your own thing. Can I pronounce that? I could, but I'm not going to. I'm on a robotics team, so maybe have a drone that could slow the entire team with confetti. That's interesting. Mr. Sandman, make him the... Give me a deploy. I like it. Beret versus Captain X would be the perfect battle. Heavy fighter versus basically Slick Rabbit. Well, I was thinking, we had some folks saying recently, like, oh, what if we had, we have we have a group in our area called the Dart Rangers, and they're different color designations. The I'm green. Uh, Xavier is orange. Out of Darts is purple. And someone was saying, "Oh, let's have like the primary colors versus all." And I was like, "Heh, the secondary colors would be a pretty good variety." So you've got Captain Xavier, who's kind of like usually packs a lot of firepower, so he plays that way. That's his general play style. Like maybe he'll have a shield and then something that could work with that. But he's a slower advancing target, but usually packs some good firepower, or just you don't want to get too close. Like you don't want to let him get close because then he'll whack you. Luke, who is the jackrabbit that runs with heavy firepower as well, but just crazy dumping firepower with paintball experience. And then there's me. I'm the person who will, when you don't expect it, come right behind you and be like, got you. So that's a pretty good variety, I would say. Beret is the best. Well, he's okay. Join my hat cult. Hey, Broke Nerfing, how's it going? Do you have a Firefly Rev 8? I did. I purchased one when they first came out, the blue one, and I really liked it. I think I still have the old darts that came with it, and the little glow-in-the-dark strips that you would put on the white suction cup darts, so that you would actually get them to glow, because the foam wasn't actually the part that glowed, it was the glow-in-the-dark strips that would react with the light when you flashed the blaster and fired it. Boy, those were the days. Beret is easier to approach, talk to. Cap, for some reason, is harder to approach. He's he gets a lot more attention than me. So I think that's how he deals with newer folks more often than not. Um, my weakness is that when I try to talk to people, I find I just drone on and on and on and on, and everyone has their own um, personal skills that they want to work on or not. And for me, I feel like I just get wrapped up in certain things, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I've been talking to you for 25 minutes, haven't I? Wow, whoops, I'm sorry. Have you ever played Fallout 76? No, I am not a gamer in the slightest, so that's not a knock to the game, just a knock to me. What is your least favorite blaster? I don't know about one. Oh, the Doominator. I hate that thing, but it's still funny, which means it'll probably come to an I'd Run That in a War survey sometime soon. When is I'd Run That in a War Nerf War 10? When is I'd Run That in a Nerf War 10? I think you're asking when was it? Is that January? February? We just finished 13. Um, Alan, go back and check. We just did that, so you've got plenty to catch up on that. And if you're enjoying it, Beret, streamy goodness. Hello, Biggs. How are you doing? Can you run two Prometheuses? I could, but a Prometheus is something I would need to borrow. And I've also had a different idea for using a Prometheus in a game that doesn't actually involve using the balls, because that's what I would do. You, Lance, and Luke would form a competitive team. Y'all would rule. See, that's what's funny. Lance has gotten to play King of the Hill now once at Ragnar Oktoberfest. And he played, I think, no offense to everyone else that was on the team, but I think Lance put forth like the best effort just because he has similar play styles to me in our games. But afterwards, he was like, "I don't know if competitive's right for me, man. I'm not. I don't like running around for so long. Maybe he'll do more in the future, um, but we'll see." I really like your humor, Brett, and I think comparing humors from persons does not make much sense. Keep being as you are. Yep, we're all different. That's what makes us unique. If like for people who want to try starting their own channels and like I want to be just like you, and I'm not saying like they want to be just like me, but like just like anyone. I want to be like Coop. Giggity. I want to be like Captain Xavier. I am not impressed. Or I want to be like Drek. Um, does he have a catchphrase the same way? I don't know. If you copy those things, there's no point. You find what's original to you, and that's what people enjoy seeing. They like seeing something that's different. That's why I like meeting new people and see what they do because I find that amusing. I don't want to see more people acting just like myself. That would be scary because I hate me. Yuck, gross. Good evening, sir. Hope you are well. We met at End War. Just wanted to say I appreciate all the time and effort and editing you do in your videos, as I do not edit much at all. Well, thank you, Mr. Engelstad. I remember meeting you guys. I have seen you around, of course. Are you going to be at End War this year? Because if so, I will definitely say hi to you guys again. Um, I still don't do that much editing on my videos, though. I edit my stuff in iMovie still. So I'm in the middle somewhere. I don't just take raw footage and upload that, but I do a little bit of stuff. I like my videos to be watchable. That's all. Hey Beret, do you have a Master Blaster? It shoots ballistic balls. I don't think I do. No, I do not. That would be a cool one to play with one day. Would you recommend using a 25 drum on a semi-automatic flywheel? I have one for my regulator. Sure. It's fun to talk with Beret. That's a lie, Homely. You know I'm a terrible person. Homely is the best person. You know it. Do. Thank you, Senpai. Notice me. Oh, I love those comments. Okay, you've been noticed. Don't forget to bring 10 grenades for each person on every team. I'm glad the grenades are a constant here. Oh, good. No one's brought up banana yet, so I guess that's what we're going with now. Can you run homemade melee toys? Yes, so long as they're safe, like foam. Those are okay. You need to put a mini beret on your sledge fire and googly eyes also on it. Oh shoot, where is it? I keep forgetting to bring that out in anything. I have a small mini beret that someone gave to me in California. One day I'll remember and I'll find a time for it. What is the blaster that you want the most, and what is your dream car? I don't know if I have a dream car necessarily, but we could go with a DeLorean just because it would be like cool to see, maybe to have, but it's not like the most effective car to use in your average life. Blaster that you have that you most want. Because nothing's like there are only so many blasters out there that are completely out of reach that's like even if you have the money, you might not be able to buy this, right? Like if you're willing to spend a certain amount of money, you can buy stuff. Now, if you're talking about special commission blasters, then yes, there might be an endless sea of stuff, and that's not really fair to compare it to. But if you're just thinking of like blasters that are currently being sold or were slightly discontinued, you can usually find them, and if you're willing to pay like a couple $100, you can still get them. But there are then some like the Maximizer, which you can't like just always guarantee that you'll find that and pay money for it. I would say one of the coolest blasters that I could ever get that I don't have, it would be cool to have. Honestly, some of those other, yeah, vintage ones that look like the Super Max 2000 would be pretty cool. And I can't tell you exactly because I'm going to cop out and say I don't know what it is, but I will know it when I see it and then be like, that would be awesome to have. Because I'm pretty fortunate enough that I've gotten to play with many things. Okay, I'm just gonna jump and Beret denies his compliments before he knows his war crimes. If you don't, if you could not say that, then I would actually get away with them. My friend Alex was your deploy buddy at Jared's epic Nerf battle. Yeah, deploy buddies. They make life less painful. WikiHow thinks we have thousands of grenades. Well, WikiHow can think whatever it wants. What if a jolt shoots bananas? I don't know. How can I join the Beret cult? I own one to scare all my friends. You buy a beret and then you're part of the cult. We're not forming a cult here. This is not a cult. Walk away. Go away. This is no cult. I have poofed you with this. Would you like to have a Titan CS50 when it comes out? I have debated, Golden Line, I have debated about whether or not I'm actually going to buy a Titan. I really haven't bought many of the newer blasters. Most of the things that you've been seeing on my channel recently are community blasters, like the Foxfire, the Spamf, the Garbage. Uh, the things that are like 3D printed and they're kind of unique. Um, I haven't bought too many of the newer Nerf blasters just because of price and the size. And it's like I don't need to add all those to my collection if I know I'm not going to use them. So that said, I do want that 50 round drum. And it would be kind of funny to use the Titan. We will see. Can you run a modded Terra Scout? I need to get a Terra Scout first. Maybe I can borrow one of those one time. I have thought of ideas of using one of those in a game and how I would film it. Can you run a stick and hit Captain X? Um, sure, and then I'll get hit right back. So maybe no. Drac would be oh no, I know what Drac would be. Hey guys, it's Drac. That's old Drac. Where did you get your poofer gun and where can I get it? This thing? I don't know. It just showed up one day from Pirate Johnson. He sent it to Wacom and he delivered it to me. I don't know where these things come from. Do you want the new Nerf trilogy? I'm on the fence about that blaster. I love my Sledgefire, and it does not take Sledgefire shells, and I don't know if I need to add that to my collection just because I should see what it's like. It could be cool to see if it has mod potential, but I see no use in having another 3-shot blaster that's just way chunkier. It looks so weird. Like the Sledgefire has a cool form factor. It fits in a drill holster. If you mod that drill holster a little bit, it's sleek. It fits really sleek shells. The trilogy is chunky. and it takes chunky shells. I get why they did that, but there's nothing special about it then compared to a sledge fire if, like myself, I have all of the materials needed to run a sledge fire just fine. So, we'll see. If I see it out there and I'm really curious, maybe I'll get it. Maybe I'll use it. Maybe I'll see about tinkering with it. Maybe I'll sell it to someone else if I don't care for it too much. Time will tell. There's too many blasters out there, right? Like, can we all just agree for a second? There's way too many options out there, and just think about all the things that you've seen me use in a game, and it's like, wow, Bret uses so many things. Yeah, like Nerf, and then Busby, and then our own creations. I've never put an X-Shot blaster on my survey, because I don't have any of those really. And that seems kind of cheap, right? Maybe I should actually branch out and use some of those. There's so many different companies and blasters out there. It's like, how do you get all of them? It's almost impossible. Micro rant over. I want to use things. There's just too many. Can I buy a Walmart beret and be in the cult? There's no cult. There's no cult. There's no cult. Yes. Um, Trilogy was the biggest disappointment of 2019 because it didn't take Sledgefire shells. Yeah, it seemed like it was going that way too. That's the biggest disappointment. How we were lied to? I don't know. Well, no one knew and was lying to us. We just got tricked. That's what happened. Would you rather use an orange or a banana in a Nerf war? An orange would be heavier so you could throw it harder at people, but a banana would have a softer impact. What is your opinion on Rival Edge? Some of the things are cool, and some are just further reshells, with a little extra bulk. It's fine. It's a different style, so that's kind of cool. But I'm not like overly pumped about it. I know like the Hypnos with the new Rival magazine, the twirly one. That's kind of cool. Depends on how well it feeds. Are you going to End War again this year? Sorry if you already answered this. Yes, Stabby Josh, I actually have a video about End War. I posted it a month or so ago. If you want some specifics like what I'm using, because I talk about that and just some other things about End War. So if you want some information, go check that out. But yeah, it's coming up soon. It's almost 2 weeks away. Yikes. Monomoto would like the trilogy. If you get the reference, you're a legend. Hey Google. No, I'm sorry, I don't understand the reference. Good night, peoples. Good night. Good night. Face it, Beret. We want you to lead us. No, you don't. You do not want me to lead you. I am not a leader. I'm a player. I'm a player. Lord Beret, nice ring. This is a problem. What is this? Get your cult. There's no cult. There's something like something. There's no cult. That sounds like something a cult would say. I don't like where this is going. Ah, good. We still got solid questions coming in though. Would you rather roll apples or kick grapes in a Nerf war? Roll apples because I don't know how long you would be able to kick a grape for. Can you run your poof gun? Like I said, I've got to find the right survey to put things in. You can't, imagine this. What would you like to see me run in a game? And I put Retaliator, Prometheus, poof gun. And people will be like, well, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. 98% poof gun. So I have to make it at least a little bit appropriate categories. So there has to be just an entire dumb question where this gets to go. I run a Squishmallow banana on my gear in your honor. Oh, sweet. One day you can run a beret patch. Beret will be getting an X-Shot Tech 6 from me soon, so that's the start for X-Shot. Yes, Kyle! Sorry, was that loud? I saw that. That is a cool blaster. I would be happy to use that. That being said, Hopefully on my next survey, I have a few of your blasters too. I would like to be able to get some of those back to you so you can sell them if you want, just because I'm not using them at all. So I feel like you holding on to your own stuff would be a better use of their needs because maybe someone else could buy them off you, perhaps. Not that they're bad, obviously they're great. I just don't want to like hold on to your stuff if I'm not using it because that feels like waste. I'm keeping the dual fish for now though. I need that. I need that. A banana catapult. I still like the saran wrap shield. I really like that idea. That makes me really happy. Like when people expected the rip chain to use Vulcan chains. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know why people would have expected that. Vulcan chains have been just obsolete forever. I can't imagine Vulcan chains were even financially successful. Like you had to use a couple different materials instead of just using plastic for the whole thing like they did with the rip chain. Yeah, I'm sure Nerf looked back and was like, why didn't we just use plastic for the whole darn thing? Maverick Rev 6, most iconic blaster. Correct. Correct. Can you establish communism? I think we've gone too far. Jumping, 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 jumping. Hello, CP. It's not a cult, folks. Spreading rumors like this leads to disappearances. Hey, are you my guy then, Tyback? Are you the one who's going to make people disappear? It's not a cult, it's DiGiorno. If you were sent a Nerf hypersight chambered in banana, would you use it? I'm sorry, what does that mean? I do have a hypersight blaster. Wait, no, a hypersight is the type of line, wasn't it? Nerf hypersight. Yeah, okay. I have an expand blast from the hypersight line. My mistake. Okay. Does the color of the Colt spray correlate to anything specific? Do we have to have matching Nikes? I've always just used my berets interchangeably too. I need to make a video eventually where it's like orange is talking to red, who's talking to blue, like actually have personalities associated with berets. I'm not gonna try and put them all in one video, like or one frame because that's way too much work. But you could have a silly video with that. Very Nerf related, obviously. You know, I bring something different to the Nerf community, and that is nothing Nerf. Beret, would you rather use Elite or AccuStrike darts in a flywheel? AccuStrike darts any day of the week. Elite darts are a joke to use out of a flywheel that is modded in any way. They will go everywhere. Banana Beret. Is Beret Thanos? Snap everyone. Oh snap. Would you rather start a cult or start a cult? No, I saw that. You just deleted that. I saw that. Oh boy. I'm not stopping it. I'm just not reading them. Okay, how far have we gone? A minute 58. Okay, well, we'll start wrapping this up. Um, just get through some of these last questions. Uh, this has been a very productive 2 hours. Can you load a banana in the Nerf tennis ball launcher? I haven't even gotten to use like grenades out of that on camera, except for the time where I shot myself with them and when I did my review for the clear NF strike grenade, which you are welcome to see that if you want to see me get hit in the face with a grenade with a mask on though, because safety first. A banana would get destroyed out of that thing. Oh man. We want more Saxman in our lives. I know, Ryan. I want more Saxman. It sucks too because now that I'm trying to do something with my like Saxman story, I haven't been able to just have a random Saxman cameo in the same way because that breaks continuity. And I care about those things. I have a lot of attention to detail in my work. Narwhals are greater than unicorns. Banana Colt K26. Wow, we've really come a long way. I'm proud of us. I'm very proud of all of you fine folks. The Colt should have assorted colors of beret. When grouped together, it helps with camouflage. All the flavors of the rainbow. I will gladly edit videos for you, man. That's okay, James. I enjoy editing my videos. If I get to the point where I want to do some better editing, then I will get better software. But with what I set out to do, and I'm not trying to, be like I'm not trying to make like super high quality videos for the sake of high quality videos. I care more about just like showing things off, and I film things on my phone because it's good enough for me and I have like some lighting, but the point is not for you to be like, "Whoa, bro, your video quality is amazing." It's like if it gets to the point where it's just unusable, unwatchable, then I'll change things up, but with what I do right now, I'm not overreaching my editing skills or my software editing skills. Can you climb the ranks where you change beret size or color? Crawling in my skin. Da, da. Hit the dab on stream, please. Hit the dab. Where's the dab button? The dab button here? Is it up there? There's nothing. I mean, the there's your dab. I don't know. I have no shame. Can you do more of these streams? I can try. I can try. It's fun just chatting with people because obviously when you do a video, sometimes you get to, interact with all the comments like days later, depending on what you're doing. But it's fun to be able to chat with people in live time because I'm not, everyone commenting who likes watching my stuff, and for the people who are like, oh, I'd love to meet you one day, it's like I'm not going to be able to meet everyone one day because we're doing a very specific thing like nerfing, and there aren't that many events where everyone can come together. It's not that easily accessible, and again, I don't travel to everything across the world, so the odds are you and I watching, will probably not meet one day, or we will, or I've met you before, maybe. So these are fun ways to interact with folks who I might not get to do that with. So yes, I just finding time and making sure that I'm able to stream because obviously right now, like I was saying, my recording quality is decent enough in videos, but for live stream, I'm just using my webcam on my laptop, so it's not high quality. And if you're okay with just that kind of quality, then sure. I don't have a better setup for it otherwise. Does Beret eat bananas? Oh, of course I do. Why do you think I brought bananas for that game as it was? Do you like Nerf blasters that resemble real-life weapons? Um, to a point. As long as the people who have them understand what they are and the limitations around them. Nerf blasters that resemble. Yeah, so don't take them outside unless you're like, at a private field. Don't be dumb. Depends on the country you're in. Be responsible. I like that people innovate and make cool stuff. There's a lot of realistic kits out there too. But again, you got to be smart about it. Uh, with today's climate and things that happen, especially in the US, it's completely irresponsible to just say, hey, I'm going to take this outside because it's cool. But it's a toy. Don't worry, it's a toy. I get caught on my own microphone. Be smart. Be smart. How about making sure it doesn't run into Wacom stream again? What is Wacom streaming? But I'm streaming. Wacom's not streaming. Oh, are you referring to a previous time? I see. I gotcha. Yeah, well, Wacom has his regular streaming time, so I think that's an easy enough schedule to avoid. Where are dying here? Where are most of your events held? Washington. The state of Washington. I meet you with Kyle. Hello, David. Yes, you have indeed. We have to brainstorm. There has to be a connection between End Strike and bananas. Keep trying. They're both yellow. Petition for Beret to use small potatoes for I'd run that in a war. Okay. On April Fools, you should make a video where you don't wear a beret. Well, no, that was going to be if I had already had it ready. That would have been a chance to meet Fred, who sometimes wears a fedora. But we didn't meet Fred, so that's too bad. Pirate, what the heck are you talking about? This cult stuff has gone too far. Project 7 is confirmed for go. Sure. We're gonna, what colored berets were they wearing in the Fifth Element? I don't remember. But this would be like, I'm in cosplay for that. How's that? Have you pre-ordered the Jupiter? If so, you should make an officer versus sniper. Officer equals out of darts Jupiter, and sniper equals Nerf rival Jupiter. That would be a fun loadout to have a Jupiter and a Jupiter. The trick is that the out of darts Jupiter is your primary, and the Nerf Jupiter is your sidearm. I have not though. That just came out recently, didn't it? The Nerf Jupiter for pre-orders. I don't know if I'm going to get that one. Like I mentioned, I am not looking to buy every single new blaster because I don't do reviews, so there's no point in me just getting it for a review. That would be financially and spatial irresponsible. We'll see. I'm sure someone will get it and I can play with it, but I already play with it at Jared's Epic Nerf Battle too. Where are we at? Whatever you do, don't cross the streams. Good point. Would you rather banana-sized berets or beret-sized bananas? I don't know. Yes. Join the cult with an O. Sure. Cap gun or poofy gun? Doesn't one of those shoot and one not? So I'm gonna go with poofy gun. Every blaster you run in a war should have a beret or have beret decal. Well, we have stickers. Oh yeah, I guess. So I've posted these things on Instagram. Because I'll start wrapping things up with just like going forward announcements and other things you may not be aware of or insight. So yeah, I have these little beret stickers. They are of me with my Sledgefire and Sax-PZ running because I do that a lot. These will be with me at End War. Now this is a larger one. I have smaller 2x2 inch ones. I'll be giving those away for free at End War, so if you see me there, feel free to stop by and I will give you one. I really just want to give away singles at a time because I don't know how many I will have to bring or how many people will be asking of me. So I want to make sure I'm not giving too many away because I've heard people bring thousands of stickers and I'm bringing less than that. So don't overwhelm me. I want people, if they want a sticker, to get one. I don't want to be the guy who says, I'm sorry, I couldn't get you a sticker. And then after End War, ideally we will have these. I think I was going to have my friend Ryan from Silver Fox Industries have them on his website. They'll be cheap. It's not being sold for profit at all. It's just, if you're going to buy them, it's like 20 cents, 25 cents or so. And then we'll get it to you nice and easy. But we can't have like just all of them being ordered at once for free, right? So yeah, beret stickers. Stick them to things. You might see a patch that looks like this one day too, but not yet. So wait and see. Oh, I need that. I have some more. Yeah, what's coming up in the future? If you're watching, I guess you're interested enough to hear. I have trying something a little bit different this week on Friday I have some outtakes from my most recent WikiHow video. So it's just, unused footage or things that happen after I cut it for the WikiHow video. So if you watched that and you enjoyed the smoke grenades one, then you might enjoy this. It's really just, me and other friends chatting and laughing and, trying to get an appropriate take for my high quality production that is WikiHow. So if you enjoy that kind of stuff, you might like Friday's video. And then next week, I will have footage from what you just saw with my Moto Strife in a quick top-down review and gameplay footage with that. And the following week, I should have a look at my Spamf and gameplay footage that went with that too. And then I'll probably do an End War recap once that's all said and done, and then we'll get right back into I'd Run That in a War 14 because I filmed the footage and I didn't show any of that this time because that's special footage. I have to edit that first. Also, I may have dropped some words in that video I would like to cut out appropriately. It's not that bad, but this is a family channel. So you can expect that one beginning of July. I think you'll enjoy it. I think it went well as you will get. So the next survey will come out early July. Hopefully, that should be on track regardless of how End War goes. So I think I'll have that done before I go to End War. I'm on track to finish those things up, which is good. End War, of course, if you're going to be at End War and this is the last time we speak, there'll be some videos leading up to that too, but look forward to saying hi. Come and say hi to me at FoamCon. I won't have a booth necessarily, but I will be hopping around, of course. Yes, you can find me literally hopping around, so that's one way to find me, or you can look for the Beret. That'll also be a way. I may also set up near Silver Fox Industries' table. They may have a sign for me as well, which is unnecessary but very kind of them. So yeah, come say hey. I won't be selling anything, but like I said, come get a sticker. I may be buying some stuff too, so I have to figure out what I want or what I have space for. And I've already talked about in my End War video what I'm going to be using, so you can expect a little or a lot from me depending on the day. If you want to hang around with me during the HVZ, feel free to. You can welcome death as a swift and merciful heat wave. I'm not looking forward to that heat. And then I'm going to be really gearing up for the Foam Pro Tour on Sunday. So hopefully I can, say hey to everyone. It's just going to be, I'm sure when I get there, my mind's going to be really invested in that because, we have some sponsors for our team and we're going to be a slightly high profile team to beat just because our name's been thrown around a little bit and we're playing first pretty much. Like we're in the first bracket. We're in bracket A, the first team listed. So I'm sure that we're going to be playing immediately, and it's going to be a hard bracket looking at it so far to play in anyways. So not that anyone will be easy, but it'll be intense, and I'm looking forward to it. But I'm also a bit anxious. There's a lot on the line, and I want to put my best foot forward because most people know me for not playing super hard, but I want to prove that I can do both. Darn it. Anyhow, that's coming up soon. It is definitely coming up soon. And it's gonna be awesome. I am very much looking forward to it. And if I don't see you there, I will plan on, as I mentioned, putting out a vlog style recap of it. So try and get some footage throughout the weekend. Not gameplay footage necessarily, but just like vlog stuff, meeting folks and kind of documenting my trip. Because I enjoyed doing that from Jared's Epic Nerf battle, and I can look back and see what I did again, and it's kind of fun. So that is my plan for this month. And then July, we have hopefully some more local games, but I'm not planning on doing any traveling game-wise then, nor August really as of yet. So it's really just this month that a lot seems to be happening. Yeah, hope to share some more stuff soon. Maybe during this summertime, I can do another live stream. We'll find a time. I know school is getting out for a lot of people soon, so that's either relieving or worrying as they go into summer and do something they don't want to do. But yeah, I'll still be here. Things are going well, like I pretty much outlined. Like videos are pretty constant. Not overwhelmed with stuff. Have a pretty good schedule, manageable schedule, doing a lot of things that I enjoy doing. If you just utterly hate me reviewing stuff from NF Strike, I understand. I don't like always getting stuff from them either. I prefer to support my local businesses like Out of Darts and Foam Blast. But, I'm not going to buy this myself, so at least if I can get it for free and tell you people why it sucks and warn you about it and then use it in a game, well, then at least we can all get some amusement out of that. And like this is a review I guess I'll do eventually that they sent me. You might have seen a review of this on Wallcom's channel. Um, I have no use for it. It's kind of cool. They said, we'll send you it. And I'm like, sure. I haven't done a giveaway before, but if you watch the video on this when it comes out, there might be a giveaway. So no harm done, right? It's got a nice little container too, so that's easy to ship. Also, I mean, what are we at right now, subscriber wise? 14,926. Yeah, I mean, we're almost about to hit 15,000. That's pretty awesome, guys. Thank you. I mean, it's been going great. I can't complain. The channel's doing really well. All thanks to you guys. Anything else I got? I don't think I got anything else. Actually, here's one. Someone sent me, I posted this on Instagram. Someone sent me, I mentioned it too, the ballistic balls for the ones I lost at Jared's Epic Nerf Battle. It was from Aaron. Here's his note. I didn't post this on Instagram, but I'll read it here. Dear kind Sir Beret, I'm a sir now. Hello, I hope you can put these to good use. It doesn't seem fair that they be wasted collecting dust when someone out there could use them. I hope they help you in some way because your channel deserves more subscribers. It doesn't, it's fine. You are such a trooper putting up with dumb loadouts and broken Lego guns. See, that one I can agree with. I really hope you get bigger because you are a great channel. I especially love when you make fun of WikiHow because it really is trash. It's quality trash. And I like to see what goes on in Nerf Wars because I don't have the opportunity to go to Nerf Wars and things. All I have is my big arsenal and an absence of targets. Have a great day and blast some bland bloke with those big ballistic balls. Aaron. Thank you, sir. I like getting to read things like that. All right. All right. Yeah, so like I said, we're just about wrapping up here. If you've got any last things to say, speak now or forever hold your pee. And I meant that, not peace. You can hold your pee, but I wouldn't recommend it. That was bad. We've broken 2 hours of stream. Yes. Sax Anna. Oh god. I'll share some other things with you too. I've had a lot of ideas for things to work on too, like my own take on a Nerf news episode. It's not supposed to be super serious. Shocker. And it's not supposed to compete in the same way too. It is maybe like a one-off or a couple episodes here and there of a Nerf news style video that I haven't gotten to because I'll figure that out one day. But I've also toyed around with the idea of having another interactive video series, which is mostly just me asking questions. And if you've seen Yai from Jack's Films before, yesterday I asked you. It's similar to that, but with like Nerf style questions. And so I haven't launched it because I've got one major series and, well, okay, two major series right now that seem to, take up plenty of time and I enjoy doing. So trying to tack on another one just makes those kind of like, oh, okay, and another series and another series. Like, no, I care more about putting these two first. And then if those slow down or need to do something else, then I'll jump on that eventually. But it'll be questions like, dumb things or semi-dumb things. Like, what is the best Nerf blaster in a Nerf game? And you could say something smart. And I'd be like, okay, that's cool. Or you could say something dumb, and I'd be like, okay, that's not so cool. And yeah, it would just kind of be like that kind of video. But I'd come up with some more creative questions because that was a pretty lame one on the spot. Hey Bray, have you heard of this little known game called Enter the Gun? No, I have not. Where's my banana manual on the wall? There's a lot you can't see here. I like trains. I understood that reference. Ask Drac to borrow his rival musket. Ooh. I'm sure Drac would be able to supply. I'd run that in a war for years. All right. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up right there. You merely adopted the darkness. I was born with it, molded by it. I didn't care about Nerf until I put on the beret. Okay, well, that's gonna do it. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I will hopefully put up more of a notice before I stream next time. But until then, stay classy, Nerfers. My Nerfers. Have a good one, everyone.